All right, guys, welcome. I'm already almost halfway through the course, really. On the High Line in New York, Crabz versus the Rhino Fury, and man, oh man, was this a fun race. Absolutely fun, very tough, and it ultimately, and I'll, refer you to Brian's video because he said it best, this became a battle of the battles. So it ended up breaking apart thanks to the New York City KOM, and it became 1v1 2v2 style of racing versus what typically happens in a club ladder race. And so as we start to get around the corner on the for the KOM, just speeding up a little bit here because really it's a climb, and boy oh boy, the true 5-minute watt monsters really started to shine. You can see everybody starting to pull away from me. I've got Tron Life behind me, and he is quickly losing ground, which I'm feeling good about at this point because it's always nice sometimes not being last. Especially since that's the last handful of races. That's where I've been at, and so I feel like I've came into my own as I start to hit the downhill, just getting as much momentum as possible, trying to super tuck as much as possible, because as I was going downhill, I started to notice I was catching up on Pavlinic, and I was absolutely excited because I was like, all right, if I can catch her, I swing out to the left because I know that if I can catch her, if I can pass her without letting her latch on, then she's going to have to do a lot of work just to keep up with me. And if I can keep my momentum going, then, I'll be able to, just continue drilling forward. But ultimately, she gives a good push and latches back onto me. As you can see, I'm doing my best to do some shake and bake, swerving left and right, just trying to keep her out in the wind so that way she's not on my draft. But ultimately, she hangs on tight. And at this point, this is where my 1v1 with Pav started, because there was a lot of kilometers left to go on this race and one more ascent up the New York KOM. So I knew that if I didn't lose her on the way to the KOM, she was going to take me on the climb. All right, so here's the first of my attacks to try and drop Pav, and just pushing a little bit forward, getting some distance here as I ramp the power up just a little bit, because at the end of the day, I know that if I can just open up enough of a gap, she's going to have to work harder just to stay on my wheel. And yeah, so this was a tough time trying to get her.
Staying on my tail pretty tight.
As you heard. And here we go again, just giving a nice little push. After doing some side to side, back and forth, dancing action with the steering, just trying to let myself kind of drift forward, and ultimately end up hitting the brakes to try and get her in front of me, because that's really all I really had, was to be able to hit the brakes so she can finally get off my wheel and I can draft off of her for a little bit. But that did not last long. And so here we go again, dancing back and forth, trying to get her off of my wheel, get her into the wind as much as possible. Just trying to do some shake and bake, put in a little push. Again, I know that if I can get enough of a distance on her, it'll make her work harder. And at this point, I figured if she was dropped by her group, then she's probably tired. She's probably exhausted. And if I can get her to work hard before the climb, then I might have a fighting chance on the climb. But as you see, she's on my wheel almost immediately. And so here we go again, trying to give another push, another dig, just trying to find whatever I can to get a good gap on her to be able to drop her. Now I'm out 12 meters, 13 meters, holding. I figured maybe this might be it, just maybe. But as you see, my speed drops and Pav is quickly right on my tail once again. And so here we go, some more shake and bake action. I steer off to the left and then quickly to the right, knowing that she was going to follow behind me. She comes up to the right, and then she ends up like pushing out to the left, which I thought was weird. I don't know if she was anticipating my move or it just Zwift pushed her out that way. You can see she did a little bit of a dig and then about left. I wasn't having any of it. I wasn't worried about not being in her draft at that moment, because at this point I'm on Team Pav. Just, I know she's going to beat me up this climb. If she stuck with me this long and lasted through all of my, zigzagging and, mini sprints here and there, I know she's going to take me on the climb. So at this point, I'm just focusing on, can I muster enough energy to actually get myself up this climb? As we start to go down this final little hill, I know that I need to keep on the power, because even though, she's going to catch me on this climb and push hard, push forward, I know she's probably not working as hard as I am, and I have to push it in order to not get dropped at this point. Because I figure the longer I can stay with her, the more chances I have to getting up to the top at the end with her. Because that's really what it was about for me, is if I can get to that top platform before the finish banner, side by side, it's toast. I'll take her on a sprint any day. But I have to get there. And that's the thing, is I have to get there. And so this, as we, get ready to make the right here, she's kind of dangling off the back a little bit, but again, I'm not worried about that. I know she's got the power to, take me on the climb. And so as we start to hit the climb, I start to ramp up my power. I know that if I don't maintain a good pace here, it's gonna end badly for me. Now, as we start to head up, she pulls over to the left a little bit. See my flame socks light up ever so slightly, because I'm in the 4+, right around 3 to 4 watts per kilogram and holding, and I'm just looking at, can I at least stay side by side with her, trying to adjust my RPMs to stay in the right gear, shifting gears up and down just to kind of hold it in place. Now, if you look, one of the things that I added recently in the top left, there's the core temperature device, and so my core body temperature right now is estimated to be in the 102.4. I'm hot. I'm boiling up inside, and boy, oh boy, do I feel it. I absolutely feel it. So as we get to the top, she's got a few seconds on me, and at this point, I'm like, all right, I need to rest my legs a bit. My legs are hurting, on fire, getting sweaty. She continues going on at 3.6, 3.5. She's still holding some good power as we hit the flat. Now, I'm in the 1.5s, just letting my legs spin out, because I know that if I can reel her back in if I just get the right momentum on this climb. And so as we start, she hits the base of the climb. I'm starting to hit the base of the climb. She's got about 6 seconds out on me right now. And at this point, my focus is, can I catch her? She's still within my sight. She's still on my screen. So I know that I just need to hustle to be able to catch her. I start closing in a little bit right now at 5 seconds, ish. And so my concentration's on just staying right there. Just stay within that range, trying to hold my power as best I can. I'm in the 4 watts per kilogram range, which at this point I am absolutely exhausted. My heart rate's in the low to mid 170s. Awesome, so I know I've got some, some energy left. Our guys had already finished, at least the front guys had already finished the race. At this point, their guys, they have their guys about to finish the race as well. And so at this point, it's just me and Pat trying to get to the finish. So I'm gonna continue to fast forward this so you can see how things roll out. And so as we push this a little bit forward, I do start to close the gap again. I started giving another dig, just trying to do what I can. I see her getting closer in my screen, and I'm getting excited because I feel like I'm building momentum. And as I start to hit the top of this little red section here, this 17%, I am starting to feel it. My legs are hurting, hitting above 4 watts per kilogram. We start to crest over the top, and I start to get to this 10%, and I got to back down the power. My legs were absolutely on fire. We hit this flat, and I'm thinking like, all right, I got to recover a little bit, try and, spin my legs out, keep some momentum, but at the same time, not overdo it. Maybe hold, around 3 watts per kilogram so I can keep my momentum going forward, and I just give it one last dig as I start to hit this 3%. She is pulling away from me at this point. She's at 10 seconds out. I know I'm not catching her without doing a monumental level sprint up this steep section. So as we start to hit the steep section, I start to get out of the saddle, ramp up the power as much as I can, hit 5, almost 6 watts per kilogram. There we go, 6.4, and just hit the very top, and I just couldn't. I got close, but Pav took me on the day. Go Pav, go Rhino. That was absolutely a fantastic race. I had a great time. Hope you enjoyed.
I think it looked like it was 350 around there for him. Okay. Oh my god. I did 453. My first one. Holy crap.
Hey guys, it's Miguel from That Thing You Just Watched. Hope you enjoyed that video, whether it was topic on nutrition or racing or a combination of both. Feel free to come back. I will continue to put out videos like this and continue to showcase what you can do with smart nutritional strategies, combining that with racing, because that is what this channel is all about. And feel free to check in if you want to see more racing. Click on wherever the link's at, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next race.